So, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. The rematch is going to take place November 15 in the same stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, what can you say about this fight? My goodness, the first one was one of the greatest fights I have ever seen in my life. And actually, 6 days after that fight, I met Conor Benn. And let me tell you this, the man looked fresh. The man, most importantly, was probably the most humble fighter and the most gracious fighter that I have ever met. And I have met countless fighters, let me tell you. But Conor Benn was different. Conor Benn was special, and the man is born to become a superstar. There's no question about it. But I'm going to be honest here. I didn't like the first fight in the first place. Not the fight itself, but everything that was surrounding it. I mean, my goodness, I was genuinely scared for Chris Eubank's life coming into the fight. And look what happened. The man spent nearly 3 days in the hospital after the fight. The man nearly passed away on his way to the hospital. Look, Conor Benn is without a doubt one of my favorite fighters ever. And I actually messaged back and forth with the man a few times. The man has, without a doubt, heart of gold. But I gotta be honest here, I gotta be honest. With Chris Eubank Jr. having that rehydration clause, we're playing a very, very dangerous game. I mean, look, Conor Benn, he came back from the mother of all adversities. The man tested positive for PEDs. Everyone stopped supporting the man. Even though in that phase, I kept messaging back and forth with Conor. And let me tell you, the man, like I said, he's an exceptional human being. And I don't believe that deep down in his heart, that the man is a cheater. But let's talk about this fight. Now, especially the first one. I mean, that rehydration clause, whoever put it, which is most likely Eddie Hearn and Frank Smith, these guys are playing with fire. Conor Benn was hated by the entire world a year ago, for nearly 3 years. But now everyone loves Conor Benn, and Conor Benn gained the hearts and respect of every single boxing fan around the world. But if he's going to fight Chris Eubank Jr. again with a rehydration clause, Chris Eubank Jr.'s life will be in danger again. And God forbid, just God forbid, I am so scared that Conor Benn might actually hurt and possibly alter the life of Chris Eubank. Because when you talk about rehydration clauses, in my opinion, that is attempted murder. To make it simple. Especially when both men aren't really that much different when it comes to size. I mean, let's not act like Chris Eubank is a cruiserweight and Conor is like a lightweight. Conor, now, I believe the man is a 154 pounder. And Chris is a 160 pounder. But Chris should move up, without a doubt. So you got two things going up against Chris Eubank Jr., even though he won the first fight. The first thing going against Chris Eubank is the age and the weight cut. Chris Eubank Jr., I mean, I remember Chris Eubank's prime, when I saw the best Chris Eubank Jr. ever, was probably 8 years ago, and Chris Eubank was at 168. But now, 8 years later, the man dropped down in weight, and the man is having to do a rehydration clause, and he's fighting a young, hungry killer in Conor Benn again. And that first fight took a lot out of both men, but especially from Chris Eubank Jr. I'm telling you, when I saw Conor Benn, 6 days, I mean, he fought on Saturday, I met him the next Friday. The man was fresh as a daisy. The man didn't have a mark on him. So, while on the other hand, Chris Eubank 6 days after he just came out of the hospital. And we saw his eye. I mean, the man was messed up. The man gave it his all. The man left a massive piece, a massive chunk of himself inside that ring that night. So do I want to see this fight? No. I pray to God that if this fight, I mean, it's official now, it's signed. But I just pray to God that there is no rehydration clause and they can find a way to make the fight at a catch weight at 162, 163, 161 and a half. But guys, it is not worth it. I mean, at the end of the day, it is Chris Eubank Jr.'s choice. But greed gets you killed. And Chris Eubank Jr. is so greedy when it comes to money. Even though I love the man, I love Chris Eubank Jr. But Chris didn't have to do a rehydration clause for that first fight. But I believe they offered him $500,000 to do the rehydration clause. But when he saw the money, he was like, you know what, I'll do it. But the man got paid $10 million. How much money is enough money? You already got paid $10 million. Why did you sacrifice your life? And why did you sacrifice a massive piece of your soul and well-being for an extra half a million or an extra million? And you know what? He missed weight. So they took $500,000 from him and he got fined here and there. So he lost $1 million in that process while he did all these sacrifices because of that $1 million. Chris Eubank Jr., please, brother, please, don't do this fight if you're going to do it at 160 with a rehydration clause. You're playing with fire, and not only are you playing with fire, you're playing with your life. And what's more precious than a human life? My goodness, I mean, it's going to be a crazy fight. Actually, this time, I favor Conor Benn. I favor Conor Benn, even though Chris won the first fight. But Chris, I believe, took so much damage. Not just from the fight, but from the weight cut and rehydration clause. That week took so much, and that training camp took so much. I believe it didn't take 30% of Chris' career. I don't believe it took 50% of Chris' career. I believe it took 70 to 80% of whatever Chris has left. And I got Conor Benn in the rematch. I love Conor Benn, the man. God willing, Conor Benn will become a Muslim. God willing. I can feel it in my heart. But back to the topic. I fear for Chris Eubank Jr.'s life. And let's just hope and pray that both men make it out safe. And I got Conor Benn in the rematch.